Positive energy all the time. Good to see you all this afternoon. No kings. That's what people are saying. They're saying no kings. Rep your city. I'm representing Chicago, Illinois. We have New Orleans in the building with the beautiful Arnell. Ooh, cutie. We got Fresno in the building. We got Buffalo, New York in the building. Rep your city, rep your city, rep your city. I got my good brother Showface News that's killing the game. Salute to my brother Showface. I seen you and Stino back together. That's a good thing. To do your own things, but work together every now and then, positive. Both of you brothers got my support. So keep doing a good job, brother. I'm extremely proud of you, okay? You're doing great work. And I support you 1,000,000,000%. We got Seattle in the building. And y'all go check out Showface News. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know what's going on, as soon as it happens, you go over to Showface and you're gonna know everything going on. He ain't missing a beat. He don't miss a beat. Soon as something happen, he wake up. What time is it? It's 5:30 in the morning. Welcome to Showface News. Boy, he get out and say, hell no. We got Syracuse in the building. We got Seattle in the building. Hey, man, some of these brothers, man, you got to love their work ethic, man. They work and they stacking that money and they bringing that information. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had some money. I would do a movie with him and Stino, and that thing would make millions. Oh my God, that thing would make so much money. Ooh, they would make some money. It's not often you could get two people that when you put them together, you got like a unique, because they're both unique. They're nothing alike, but they fit like a glove. It's crazy. So how y'all doing? I hope y'all all doing great. We got Cincinnati in the building. Yeah, so they got the No Kings protest. Yeah, No Kings protest. They're out there. Now, today, I'm going to talk from the point of view of advice, right? So I'm not over here anti-Trump. I'm not pro-Trump. I'm not pro anybody because I'm only pro when it's time for election. And after the election, my name is Wes, and I'm not in that mess. So if I got a candidate I like, I'll get into it for the election. After the election's over, that's it. Whoever won, and that's it. I don't have any energy to put in there. So we got this great city of Syracuse. We got Ohio, Cincinnati, and we got Seattle. Y'all rep y'all city, rep y'all city. Love Wisdom, where you been, cutie pie? Love Wisdom is in the building. She been over here, but she just be watching. Crystal is here. Good to see you, Crystal. We got the beautiful Union, New Jersey. Look at her, looking beautiful. Ooh wee. Look at Love Wisdom. We got Houston in the building. We got Rock Hill, South Carolina. We got Jersey in the building. We got the DMV in the building. What up, JR? Salute, King. No kings, y'all. No kings. And so I'm going to talk about that situation. People are mad at Trump, the way he's functioning. I don't put my emotions into that stuff. I put my energy into, if I like a candidate, I'll put my energy, I'll campaign for him for free. If I don't campaign, I won't say nothing. So if you see me pushing Harris, it's because I was campaigning. If it was just based on voting, I would just keep my mouth shut and let my voting do the talking. But I was campaigning, trying to show people the difficulties and how hard it is to campaign and how you have to campaign every day if you're professionally campaigning for somebody running for office. But I don't think people picked up on that. They made it petty, like how they are. So they tried to make my campaign and petty, which it wasn't. It wasn't designed to argue. It's just like anything else. If it's the Bears against the Giants, let's go Bears. It's not no argument. If you is New York or something, you're going to say, go Giants. Why would I argue with you? You said go Giants. That's the end of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not for arguing with you when you say go Giants. I'm not for arguing with you. You say, I like Trump. What do you want me to say? I'm not going to try to get you to not like Trump. You like Trump, that's on you. If Trump get in there messed up, I'm not going to blame you because you ain't got nothing to do with what he did. You might not even thought he was going to do what he did. So I don't got no problem with people that voted for Trump, no matter what he do, because, hey, you got the right to pick. And sometimes you pick people and they don't necessarily do what you want them to do. And you might have had a reason that you picked them and they might fulfill that reason and do a bunch of other stuff. So politics has gotten a little silly. But today, I'm going to talk about this No Kings protest all across the country. Millions of people, I'm sure, from looking at the numbers, are coming out saying they don't want no king. And I would agree. So I'm going to give some advice to Trump. My first advice to Trump is, you're acting too much like a king. It's not a good look. So this conversation is going to be based on advice on what I think about Trump, what I think he should do, and things like that. It's not going to be anti-Trump. It's going to be just talking about it from a non-emotional point of view. So this is not anti-Trump conversation. This is my critique on what I think about his presidency so far. And it's not based on the fact that he wasn't the candidate I chose. I'm able to departmentalize myself and not let that bleed over into this conversation. So whatever I say about Trump has nothing to do with the past election or the fact that I supported Harris. It's got nothing to do with that. That's over with. But I'm just going to talk about what I see Trump doing, the situation with Trump, and what I see what's going on with the protest and all of that. So come on in, everybody. Come on in. Rep your city. Rep your city. Support the channel. Hit the like button. Share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you're getting your notifications. It's very important. hit the like button, share, because we need, if you share it, it goes out to more people. That is very important. So, what I see going on with Trump, if I could sit down with Trump and talk to him, I would tell him, this is the type of stuff I would tell him. I think Trump is on the wrong page. I think Trump had the ability to be a great president, but I believe that Trump has his emotions in with the presidency. I believe he's very upset about being prosecuted, right? I believe he's very upset about being prosecuted, and he's somewhat revengeful, right? And it's understandable. It's understandable. But in terms of strategies, it's the wrong strategy. I wish I could have him watch what I'm saying. I wish I could sit down and talk to him and that he would listen. Because he doesn't listen, he's a little bullheaded, which is not good. He's got to listen. He can't be out there by himself like that. He's got to listen. So I believe he's angry. And, you know, I can understand why he would be, I can understand that. You know, I can understand how he would feel that they had it out for him and that they like had a political witch hunt, you know, especially with the mug shot for the president. So I could see how he would be extremely angry over that. But if I could talk to him, I would tell him don't go that route. He should have went the whole other route. If he would have went the whole other route with no animosity and just got in there and just did a good job, he would have went down as one of the greatest presidents in United States history. He should have went in there blank. Everybody would have seen it. They would have been like, everything he went through, he's not reacting to none of it. That would have showed more strength, more leadership. That would have erased all them indictments. All that stuff would have been water under the bridge. He should have came in and he should have reached out for the Democratic Party. That's what he should have did. Yep. He should have threw everybody for a loop. Nobody would have expected that. He could have still been dominant. He still got the House and the Senate, but he didn't have to use the dominance. He could have came and worked things out right down the middle. He could have, in some cases, people in his party would have been a little upset, but those people are saboteurs. And he's following people that don't represent professionalism. And he's letting his crowd tell him what to do, but they don't represent politics. They don't represent diplomacy. They don't represent professionalism. So he's listening to a mob that's not as big as he think it is. I think he made a horrible mistake thinking that people put him in there for what he's doing. People put him in there because they thought he was going to get some money for the country. That's why regardless, whatever he did, the fact that he was running behind Biden, he had no competition. Biden blocked Harris too long and sabotaged Harris. She trying to run for president with 2.5 months. And people put him in there because they say, regardless of all this weird stuff, he gonna get some money. But because he got a chip on his shoulder, he ain't focusing on the money. He focusing on revenge. And focusing on revenge is making him mess up the money. He messing up the money. His effort to bring in all flunkies was a big mistake. He should have brought in people that would stand up to him to make sure he do right. He should have never brought in people that agree with everything he do. He made a horrible mistake with that. And he doesn't understand that some of them people that he brought in that's letting him do what he want to do is planning to take that position when he crash. Okay? So he's making huge mistakes. He's made horrible mistakes. One of the mistakes that sticks out the most to me is the way he dealt with immigration. He totally fumbled that. He made a mess. He let his emotions about illegal immigrants destroy Christmas and Thanksgiving. Because Thanksgiving represents harvest and all the food is ready. And he ran off all the migrants to pick the food. And the food is rotting. And this food that's rotting, you wouldn't know until the first week of November. You wouldn't know right now. Thanksgiving is a holiday designed to sell off this abundance of food so you won't have too much. It's a harvest holiday. You're giving thanks for the harvest. Big mistake. If it's no problem with coming with a strong a deportation program, because there is a bunch of criminals was up here. That is a fact. There's a bunch of Venezuelan criminals here that they let out of Venezuelan prisons. That is an absolute fact. But they're not picking fruit. So what he was supposed to do first is secure the farmers. You don't hurt the workers of the farmers and end up hurting the farmers more than the workers. So these illegal workers that work for these farmers, many of them ran. So they're not losing nothing. But the very farmers that have the food for the country, he hurt them more than he hurt the immigrants. He's ruining them. And now it's appearing that J.D. Vance is going to buy up those farms. That was a very detrimental mistake. He totally I don't know what the hell he was thinking. He was supposed to go in there, find out who's at the farm. He was supposed to send a guy from ICE to the farms. You go to the farms and you get a record of everybody that's working there, that's picking that food. And you give them a stay. You give them a document to say they straight. Okay? Give them a document that says they're straight. That's what you should have did. You don't run them with strawberries on the vine, pumpkins, all the food is harvest. It's time to harvest now. What is the food situation going to be looking like from mid-November to January 1st? I'd really like to know. That was a horrible mistake. Because he's working on emotions. And he's 80 years old. And 80 years old with emotions not going to work. It's not going to work. The grumpy old man president is not going to work. So he made some crazy miscalculations. He's making horrible mistakes, and he's got a bunch of yes men there. They're not helping him. He's doing what they call biting off more than he can chew. And yes, he seems to be a narcissist, but when you run for president, you have to check yourself. Because some narcissist behavior is really anti-narcissist. Narcissists shouldn't be trying to ruin themselves. So his behavior, even though it seems to be narcissist, it's more foolish than it is narcissist, because what, narcissists mess stuff up? Why you can't be a smart narcissist? He's appearing to be a dumb narcissist. And so that's not going to work. The way he's moving, he's going to end up in federal prison if he lives, because he's sick. And he's sick, and he's got all this hostility. That's just going to make him sicker. So to me, he's making a lot of bad moves for himself. He's not no threat. He's more of a threat to himself than he is anybody. It's not going to end good for him. I don't, you know, he doesn't have anybody to tell him anything. He's old and he's making decisions based off of anger. I'm going to get y'all back for what y'all did to me. But all the voters didn't do that to you. So why should the voters suffer because you feel some politicians from the other party did something? What do those politicians from the other party got to do with the voters? The voters ain't got nothing to do with that. The voters ain't got nothing to do with whatever you and the Democratic Party was up in there doing. If you voted for the Democrats, you don't got nothing to do with what he's doing, because if you did, you would have made Biden do more. You know, if you voting, you would want more, no matter who you're voting for. So his anger and his need to fight the other party is definitely the wrong move. He's making the wrong move. When they look at you as that kind of person, what he was supposed to do was be the total opposite and throw everybody for a loop. That's what he should have did. He should be the total opposite of what he's doing now with 80% of that stuff, and just keep his neck on the immigrants, but not immigrants that's picking the food. Because if he went and he gave them all the right to stay for a couple years, nobody would care about the ones he throw out, because they'll be like, yeah, he's keeping the good ones and he's throwing out the bad ones. But if the people that's working hard picking the fruit and vegetables leave, and you got ICE, it's going to look like you're just trying to throw all those people out. But why would you want to look like you throwing all those people out when you ain't got nobody to do their jobs? That ain't making no sense. So if you're a narcissist and you chase all the migrants that's picking the fruit out, and you got a shortage of fruit, and this is the ceiling, you a narcissist right here, but you a dummy. You a dummy. You're a dummy more than a narcissist. At what point can you be a dummy and be a narcissist? When you more dumb than narcissist. You know what I'm saying? I'm confused. Because doing stupid stuff is not narcissist. That's dummy. I'm confused. So you ain't going to even get no respect as a narcissist. You're going to be considered an F up. Because you can be a narcissist and do good stuff. You don't have to be a narcissist messing everything. Like, what guy? Like, you know, you giving narcissists a bad name. hey, Elijah. Hey, don't nobody want to be no narcissist no more. If that's a narcissist, I don't want to be one. Ain't nobody gonna want to be a narcissist if he was. He done messed that up. Because narcissists, we ain't know that had nothing to do with how intelligent you was. That's crazy. So they marching. They say they don't want no king because he trying to act like a king. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he give a narcissist a bad name. I might have wanted to be a narcissist until he was one. He said, why aren't the citizens picking the fruit? Because we ain't like them Africans that's going to go down there and get that cobalt and stuff in the Congo. We make money over here. We ain't fruit pickers. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. The citizens are not going to pick the fruit because you got to come in on a lower standard and pick the fruit. And so that's for less educated people, people that haven't moved up in society to go do that job. People that's teachers and doctors and moving up in society, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that, rightfully so. That's going to be, if you come from a country of poverty, that's a good job for you. You know what I'm saying? If I come from a poor country, picking fruit is a good job for me. But if I'm in America, that ain't no good job. So the good job is relative to based on where you come from. So that's why. It's always been like that in America. It's always been the immigrants have to start at the bottom and work their way up and become educated and become knowledgeable of where they live at so they can move into better jobs. So when the white immigrants came, it was the same thing for them. It was the same thing for white people when they came here. It's not just people that don't know their worth. They're not worth nothing. I'm not saying that in a negative way. You're not really worth nothing. Let's say you can't play an instrument and you go somewhere where everybody's a musician. You ain't going to be worth nothing because you can't play an instrument. And so when you come into a society and you're not equipped for the better jobs, and you got to take the job that is available for you. And you're supposed to work that and stack your money and then move up. That's what you're supposed to do. Because when you come here and you look at the pay, you're going to say it ain't no good pay. But when you look at that pay compared to where you live for, where you from, it's real good pay. So the way they get paid is not based where they at, it's based where they came from. That's a step up for them. It's not a step up to you if you're already here. And so if I came from down there, I'd sure go pick it. That would be a step up. Yeah, I'd go pick it if I came from the conditions where they came from. They ain't making nothing. That money they making up here, they rich. When they send that money home, they people living real good when they send money home. You know what I'm saying? When they send money, honey, they living real good. You know what I mean? They can't pay them no more because the government is robbing the farmers. So it's not like they intentionally using these people. The farmers are barely making it. The farmers cannot afford to pay them more. Because guess what? When they pick them strawberries, the farmers selling them strawberries for this much. The stores get them. The stores selling them for this much. So it's making it look like getting paid this for stuff that costs this. No, the stores are robbing us. And that's what's making it look like they getting underpaid. The only reason it look like they getting underpaid is because we're being overcharged. So when you look at their money, you say they don't make enough money to pay rent. Of course, because we're getting robbed for rent. They're making plenty enough money to pay rent if rent was the price it's supposed to be. So it's not the money that the migrants are getting. They're getting good money. It's the fact they're robbing us. And that makes it look like the migrants are being underpaid. It looks like the migrants are being underpaid because we are being overcharged. That's a fact. Our children are supposed to be able, and I'm supposed to be able to go pick them strawberries and have me a 2-bedroom apartment. I'm supposed to pick strawberries and be able to get a 2-bedroom apartment. Facts. That's supposed to be enough money for me to feed my family and get a 2-bedroom apartment. A 2-bedroom apartment is supposed to be $700 a month. A 2-bedroom apartment is supposed to be $700 a month. And their apartments and their homes is $500 a month. Their migrants is not paying the same amount for rent that you pay. Trust me. Where are they going to do that work? The rent match they pay. Trust me. Trust me that what they got to pay to live where them farms at is pennies compared to what you got to pay. Would you tell them 5 rings? If you go and ask them how much they make and they tell you, you're going to be like, damn, they doing you wrong. But ask them how much they rent is. And they're going to be like, I got a 2-bedroom for $400 a month. You're going to be like, damn. Yeah. Because where they picking fruit at, don't nobody want to live out there. Who the hell want to live out there? In the middle of nowhere. With a bunch of strawberries. How much they paying for food in the middle of farmland? Nothing. Food everywhere. You're surprised they haven't had prisoners do the farming to replace migrants. You're not going to put angry people out there pissing on your food, Robert. I don't want prisoners. Hey, Robert. I don't want no prisoners picking the food. They got the prisoners picking cotton in Louisiana. They got them picking cotton. Yeah, they got the prisoners picking cotton, but no, you don't. I don't want no. Nobody would buy that food if we knew prisoners was picking it. Well, no, hey, Robert. No, that's salmonella. The food have HIV and everything. On my soul. They'll be like, breaking news. Strawberries have chlamydia. You'll be like, how do strawberries get chlamydia? They got some prisoners probably doing a little bit of stuff here and there. But to me, it should be totally illegal for you to make prisoners work. That should be illegal. That's slavery. Because a lot of prisoners is in there for crimes they didn't do. So how can you compare a prisoner But some white people set me up, said I did a crime. Now I'm in prison. You got me picking fruit. How could you compare me to a migrant that came over here on his own free will? You understand? So prisoners shouldn't be doing no work for no money if you can't prove they all been found guilty and they was all guilty. Because now you got innocent people out there doing slave labor. But nobody considers that a lot of prisoners are innocent. A lot of prisoners are in prison too long for what they did, and a lot of prisoners didn't do nothing. So you can't have a white racist country and have prisoners working when you got racists locking them up for nothing, framing them, okay? Because prisoners have been framed. A migrant came on their own free will. A prisoner's in prison, and we don't know if they even did the crime. Every day, they letting brothers out. 10 years did, 15 years, found out he was a fluke. 7 years, found, I don't know where y'all live, but Illinois, they letting brothers out constantly, found he didn't do nothing. They knew he didn't do nothing. We had a police officer here went to prison for electrocuting brothers and making confessions and forcing confessions out of brothers. You'll be surprised how many black men and women is in prison that didn't do nothing. All it takes is some Europeans to say, you did it. And European jury, a European judge. All it takes is a bunch of racists and you're guilty. Just like that. That's all it takes. The same crime you get 8 years for, a white dude get case dismissed. But back to Trump and the no kings thing, I think Trump messed himself up. I think he messed himself up. I think he hurt the Republican Party. I believe the Republican Party going to lose a whole bunch of elections. They're going to throw everything they did right back out. And I believe that the Republicans that's in office now are going to be looked at as an illegitimate government. They've made themselves illegitimate. Nobody's going to take this current administration serious. They're going to look like they was out for a vendetta. They're not going to look like they really governed. Trump put a bunch of people in there unqualified, fired some of the top qualified generals and admirals, and put a bunch of nobodies in there, like the guy that's running the military, Pete. Pete is not qualified to be running the Pentagon. You understand? He's not qualified. And so this is going to backfire on Trump. If I was talking to Trump, I tell him, if you don't slow down, they're going to come in here and arrest you. If Trump don't slow down, they're going to arrest him. They're going to charge him for treason and all type of stuff. He's on his way to federal prison if he don't slow down. They're not going to let him be a dictator. It's not going to happen. America's going to be the only country that is not going to take the mark of the beast and is not going to fall in line. I've been telling y'all that. America is the only country where the citizens is more powerful than the government. The United States military cannot beat American citizens. They'd get slaughtered. They did a study with some Chinese and Russians, and they did a practice thorough study about invading the United States. And they came up with the conclusion that if Russia or China invaded the United States, they would be successful until they got in the United States. And then they said the citizens would unalive them because they said the American citizens got too many guns. American citizens got too many guns. America's the kind of place where the citizens got to agree to let you govern them. This is a country where if the citizens decide they don't want you to govern them, you out of there. This is not no country where you run it because you know boss. This is a country where they let you run it. And Trump don't understand that. We letting you sit in there, dude. You look at January 6th. How many people was that compared to one half of the people in the United States? Because it's 360 million people. So that's half is 180 million. Was that 180? What happened if 180 million people marched on Washington? Y'all believe the Army and Navy and them could stop them? You think the Army and Navy would try to stop them when the Army and Navy relatives is the citizens? How can the Army beat people when they relatives, the guys in the Army, their relatives are the citizens? They're not going to ride with the president because their cousins is the citizens, their mamas is the citizens, their brothers is the citizens. So this is a country where the citizens and the military, we're relatives. The military will turn on him before they turn on their relatives. They are not going to turn on American citizens because those is our relatives. They ain't going to do it. If they got to go at somebody, they're going to go get him. They're not finna come attack their uncles and aunties and cousins and brothers. They're not finna do that. Right now, National Guards and them hate him. He done took them away from their family and the holiday coming and their daughter got to do this and that. They ain't there. They following somebody that's acting like a lunatic. You really think them people want to do that? And them ICE agents, they just try to get a bag. They're not grabbing people because they hate them. They grabbing people because every so many they grab, they get a check. So they'll grab me right now. They'll grab me. They'll take me down to the station. They'll log in that they grab me, and they'll let me go back home. They ain't did nothing to me. They running the gang. They running up a bag on the government. It won't be no sense for me to come out tomorrow. Man, they grabbed me. I already know how they grabbed me. I'll be down at the station with them like, y'all, get y'all money. Get y'all money. Let me go back home, get y'all money. I wish y'all would send me some of that money. Y'all running the game, but my lips are sealed. They ain't grabbing me because they hate me. They grabbing me because that's a head count, and they try to get money. That little inconvenience ain't going to hurt me. I've been to jail before. I already know why they grabbing me. They grabbed me for a bag. They said, well, you wouldn't complain about that? Well, I got a complaint. They need to cut me in. If they cut us in, I can get them a whole lot of people to go down. I know some people to go down there and line up. How much y'all getting? $1,500 a person? All right, $500 a person. I could get y'all 10,000. I get y'all 10,000 heads. If you give us $500 a person, we'll come down there. We'll come down there for 36 hours. I come down there for 36 hours, 500. Take me in. Take me in. As a matter of fact, can you rest me twice a week? That's a stat. I just said, cut me in on the scam. Because it's a scam. Everybody know they just count heads. They got a bunch of people come from poor places. They try to get some money, run the game on Trump. That's how they doing, run the game on Trump, juicing him. They don't give a damn about what he talking about. They trying to get paid. They don't care. When they come grab you, just let them take you so they can get their money and then release you. What you resisting for? Hey, don't take me on down there. Take me on down there and let me go back home. Because I know it's a game. I can't be mad at y'all because y'all scamming. I'm a victim of the scam, but hey. It's unfortunate, but y'all scamming. They letting y'all scam. And they letting y'all use us for the scam. So American citizens is being used for the scam. They got a head count. They grabbing people, letting them go. Grabbing people, letting them go. You down there hollering, I'm not a citizen. They know you're not a citizen, but you're a head count. They taking you down there for that bag. They take you down there for that bag. Then they'll send you on. It's a scam. And they're going to go to prison. Welcome to America. They're going to run the scam. It's going to look like they get rid of the scam, got away with the scam. 16 months, 18 months from now, reporters going to pull up the scam and people going to prison for the scam. Like, this was a scam. This ICE agent did this. These ICE agents grabbed 459 people in this city and they let go 456. And they got paid for all 459. Yeah, they going to catch them. They going to catch them and they go into prison because they scamming. They scamming. Yeah, they scamming. I be going outside with my birth certificate and everything. I got my change of name paper. I got my birth certificate. I got my license in my pocket. I just put it in my pocket and walk to the store, go to the store, go where I go. I'm ready to be pulled over anytime they ready. That's not a big deal. I'm a real soldier. I thought I told you. I should have been with no limit. I don't care. It's a scam. Don't resist. Go down there, sit around for a little while, and go home. You'll be all right. Get arrested. Go down there, sit down for a little while. Go home. Get ready for your lawsuit. Because if they take me down there, I'm going to get $1 million. It's going to be like next year or the year after. Hey, I'm suing. I ain't going to sue right now. I'm going to wait till the scam is released. They're going to be like, were you arrested falsely by ICE? Contact us. Yeah, they grabbed me. I think they hurt my back a little bit. I think stuff wrong with me. I'm going to get that money because they're going to sue. They're going to get sued up the yin-yang. Okay? This is America. Look, Trump is making big mistakes. He's setting up a lot of people for major lawsuits. This is the United States of America, where you do something under this government, they kick all y'all out of office, they put new people in office, and they prosecute you. Because the Republicans going to lose all the elections. They're not going to win nothing. They're not going to win nothing. Yeah, I got it's laying right here. Yeah, I had this in my pocket. Yeah, this is my change of name papers, and this is my birth certificate. Here's my birth certificate right here. It's my real birth certificate. And this is my legal change of name. I have it in my pocket. I got shit to do. I ain't got time to be player. I'm a G. I'm a businessman. It's just business. It's just business. When you got a business, you gotta have your license. You gotta have your papers. You gotta have papers. You're a businessman. You gotta have papers. You're driving. You gotta have your license. You gotta have your insurance card. You gotta have papers. No big deal. You're a businessman. When you're doing business, you want to do business. If they tripping, what you got to do to get home? Do you do it? I already answered that, AG. No, because they get a head count. If they take me down there, bro, they gonna get a head count and they let you go. You're not listening. They're gonna take me down there. They're gonna process me. Once they process you, they get paid, and then they let you go home. All them people they took down there and let them go a few hours later, they're going to get paid for all those people, bro. It's a scam. Are you not listening? It's a scam. It's a scam, but it's a good scam because it's a scam. And if they take me down there for a scam, all I want to do is get back home and sit back and then get my lawsuit. I'm going to get a lawsuit if they grab me. I damn near need to go out there and wander around till they get me. That's a big old bag when the smoke clear. As soon as the Trump administration out, I'm going to get a bag. Everybody that got grabbed is finna get a bag. Everybody that was illegally grabbed is finna get paid. This is the United States of America. Mistakes equal lawsuits. Yeah, I'm gonna get paid if they grab me. I'm just trying to get back home as quick as possible, but I'm gonna get paid. I'm gonna document the whole thing. Now I ain't gonna tell them what I'm telling y'all. If they grab me, it's gonna be horrible, and I'm gonna be devastated. Let me tell it. Y'all know I ain't gonna care, but if they grab me and y'all see me on the news, y'all already know. Look at this nigga here, because I'm gonna be on the news. I'm a citizen. I'm a citizen. I didn't do nothing. I'm born in this country. And they grabbed me and they violated me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have my little handkerchief with the onion in there and rub it so I could cry because I ain't got no tear ducts. But I got to try to figure out how to cry. I got to watch some Hollywood. I got to figure out how they make you cry in Hollywood. But I'm going to cry like a motherfucker. I ain't cried since I was a little kid and got a spanking. My mommy spanked me, but I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. Yeah, he get ready to get paid. Yeah. Best thing could have happened to him. Lucky, boy, he lucky. Yeah, they arrested. Yeah, they got a police officer. He lucky. He lucky. He finna get a big. He gonna get a bag before all the rest. So he gonna get his bag like soon. Yeah, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna put an onion. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna get an onion. I'm gonna put an onion in the handkerchief, and I'm gonna squeeze the onion juice in there. And then when they interview me, I'm gonna rub my eye and get that onion in my eye. Yeah, I'm gonna put that onion in my eye. And lights, camera, action. Hell yeah, I'm gonna cry like a mother. I might get $1 million. I'm gonna put some onion juice on the handkerchief, and when the news comes, I'm gonna take that handkerchief and I'm gonna tap my eye. That stuff gonna get my eyes start burning. My eyes gonna turn red. And it's gonna be lights, camera, action. It's gonna be lights, camera, action. You know, that's what players do. You know, Nicole, players do, you know. I do that on a drop of a dime, you know what I mean? You know, I'm with a queen. She want to dump me. I want to hit it at least 2 more times. I'll fake cry. So I can get up in there a couple times. Baby, I can't believe you did me like this. Yeah. I can't, I can't, I can't believe, you know, I had to work, I had to practice. That's where the onion come in. I had to practice. What the hell do I care? I ain't gonna be crying when I get up behind her. I'm just gonna cry till I get behind her. I be all right, as long as she believe me. It's like, you broke my heart. You broke it so bad. You believe me? But you did. I'm devastated. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? I loved you more than anything. You know, I hope they didn't watch this. Because, you know, every woman I broke up with, as far as they concerned, I'm devastated. You know, you gotta keep that, you gotta keep that door, you gotta keep that door open. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stop hating on your ex. You know what I'm saying? Be devastated. Don't be showing her you with somebody else. If she call you, what you doing? Nothing. You go in another room, your girlfriend over there, your new woman over there, you tell her nothing, just sitting here by myself, thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? Sad. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe you did me like that. I can't get on with my life for something. You gotta make it up. You know what I'm saying? They'll be all right. They're gonna believe it anyway. Some of these women, they love if you cry and you cry. They love it if you cry. But back to Trump. Trump, he messing up. He messing up. But the people want him out of there, and they don't want no king, and they gonna get him out of there. It's too much of an uproar. So he's got all these people saying no King's Day. People being kicked off of stuff. Military soldiers are standing in line for food. Y'all seen them pictures of the soldiers in line for food? They got to go to the food pantry. He got soldiers in Washington, D.C. planting flowers, cleaning up. He not that smart. That's why you got to have advisors. Because I would have told him, listen, Mr. President, don't get the National Guard until January. It's not going to be a good idea to take them away from their family during a holiday. He's stupid. Y'all know damn well them National Guard is not going to be happy if they not back home in November, in the 1st of November. They want to be there for Thanksgiving and Christmas with their family. So now you got to try to rush and get them back home. See, because what he done did was, by taking all them men away from their family, a lot of them men's wives and girlfriends is getting ran through by some other dudes. There's other dudes over there. Trump don't live in the real world. It's women cheating on their men while he gone. She know he not gonna pop up at home. He way in Chicago. So she got a free cheater ticket. She there lonely, horny. Husband shipped off so many miles away. Wide open. Whole Whole bunch of dudes is finna have to do DNA tests to find out the baby not theirs. You know how many babies women finna have that ain't theirs? You know how many of them soldiers wife finna have a baby and it ain't his? You know how many of them people gonna be divorced? You know how many men moving in there? You live in a small town and he been loving Sally and he found out her husband Roger got shipped off. He owned her. He owned her. You found out her husband gone? He owned her. She get horny one night. He constantly calling. He constantly flirting with her at the store or at the job. Y'all heard about work husbands, right? So you took these men away from their women, their children, and all that. For what? For nothing. He making bad decisions. Yeah, that's a bad thing in the military. It's known. So he's making just horrible decisions. He's letting his anger, and see, he got a hang up about what happened to him. He got a hang up about them 36 felonies. He got a hang up about this mug shot. So I understand he's on some revenge because he felt like they did me wrong and I'm out to get all of y'all. But he should be thinking, is it going to hurt him? And that's where he's making a mistake. If he can have revenge and he would be all right, that's one thing. But this revenge he's trying to have is going to backfire him. This revenge could get him locked up. He could go to prison for moving how he moving. For example, when he won the election, they took Jack Smith off of that case with the stolen documents. Why Jack Smith back on another case all of a sudden? All of a sudden last week, Jack Smith is on another case for Trump. You know why? The government went and got Jack back. Untouchable? In the United States? No such thing. No such thing. If he thinks he's untouchable, that's his problem. This is the United States. Nobody likes him. J.D. Vance don't like him, want him out the way so he can be president. Everybody he got around him is a fake friend. He don't have no support. That's all fake support. And everybody around him want his demise. None of them like him. Nobody likes him. He thinks he's controlling them. But they plan the underplay for the overplay. He's surrounded by snakes. The only one keeping it real is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She just said, I ain't going to be no snake. I don't like you. But don't none of them like him. You can see JD don't like him. JD don't like him. Go back and look what JD said about him when he was running against him. Go back and look at all the Republicans, what they said about him before he became president. None of them like him. They looking out for their own stuff. This is America, and this is what Trump making a mistake. What's up, EJ? Trump making a mistake. This is America. He's surrounded by snakes. If I was advising him, I would have had him go the other way. I would have had him throw everybody for a loop, get in there, and be open, be reasonable, and work with the Democrats, but still get what you want without overdoing it. That's what I would have had him do. I would have never advised him to go this way. Because the way he going is to prison or worse. He going the wrong direction. He going the wrong direction. If I was advising right now, and I didn't vote for him, but if I could sit with him right now, I told him the truth. I'd be like, you got too many flunkies around you. You should go the other way. You're going the wrong way. You're not a politician. You don't understand what you're doing. You're not a politician. I would tell him straight up. If you don't give these people $5,000 before November 15th, your ass is done. 2,000 ain't gonna get it. 2,000 gonna make them calm down for 6 weeks. If you don't give these people $5,000 stimulus checks, you done. So he ain't thinking as no American. If he was thinking like American, he know. Do not mess up these people Thanksgiving and Christmas. These people worship these holidays and take them very serious. And if these people are not doing well in another week or two, that's why they doing this. Because the holidays coming and he messing up their money. They will pull him out of there. They'll pull him out of there. Y'all support the channel. Thanks for the donation, bro. He ain't thinking. I wish I could help him. I would help him. Bruh, give everybody $5,000 stimulus and turn it around. He need to turn it around because that hardball he playing, that does not work in the United States. That's how you could tell he's not a politician. He's a con artist and a businessman, but he don't know nothing about politics. He playing a dangerous game. And politics go like this. It's a pendulum. And he swung all the way this way. What do you think it's finna do? It's going to swing all the way back over the other way. That's how it works. You're going to look up, it ain't going to be a Republican nowhere. Man, this election, unless they figure out some super way to cheat, Republicans losing all them seats. There's a town that I heard on the radio. The whole town supported Trump. And they've been taking down his banners and his flags and his banners and his signs. And it's so deep that they kept note of who had his sign up. And 2 weeks ago, they reported that the last person in that town that had a Trump sign up took it down. Now, what that sound like? What that sound like when the town is keeping up with who took their Trump sign down? Everybody was Trump. And the last person in the town took it down, and it made their local news. That's how bad his supporters hate him. Because he did his supporters dirty. He did them people wrong. He did them wrong. He did them dirty. His own supporters, he did them dirty. Them people poor. Them people losing their farms. J.D. Vance buying the farms. Imagine if you voted for Trump and you lose your farm and find out a company from J.D. Vance bought it. How would you feel? He didn't do his supporters no good. His supporters did not want him to get in there and do all that racist shit. That's lunatics. His supporters wanted some money, man. They try to paint the Trump supporters as racist. That's bullshit. Yeah, you had racists over there, but the party was about money, and they felt like they could get some money. And of course, they supported him when you had an old man against Biden. The Democrats should have made Biden sit down 2 years ago. So they gave the election away. I told y'all, soon as Biden fell down going up Air Force One, they should have got rid of him. Trump tripped too, but Biden had been falling down all the time, on his bike, on the stage. Once he kept falling down, they should have made him sit down. You cannot represent the so-called strongest nation in the world and be the commander-in-chief and be falling down like a goofy. But Biden was such a racist, he stayed in there so long to make sure Harris couldn't win. They didn't give Harris enough time to even campaign, and nobody said nothing because there's so many misogynists and so many racists out here. None of the men said anything and said that was bogus the way y'all did that lady, that you stayed in there and you stepped down and didn't give her no time to really run no good campaign. That was bogus. So everybody like, she didn't look professional. How could she? When he waited till the last minute, he didn't even step down after he blew the debate. A decent president, the next day, they would have stepped down. He stayed in there another month after it was obvious he wasn't going to win. He just stayed in there long enough to make sure, and then went somewhere and put a Trump hat on. Sabotaged her. Yeah, Biden sabotaged her. Sure did. Biden sabotaged that woman, man. And you got all these people that watched that and didn't say nothing. You got all these people that know everything, but didn't say nothing. That's why I don't be taking people serious when they be talking about stuff, because if you're going to be fair and honest, you're going to see everything. You ain't going to just see one thing. So once I see you don't see certain things and you only see one thing, I don't listen to you no more. Because you've shown yourself to be a fraud. Because that was supposed to be big talk. But it didn't, because people are so phony. And ain't no way in the world he was supposed to get away with this in the middle of an election. Ain't no way. There's no way the Democratic president during an election should have went and did this. This shows you he's a racist. He let them know, don't vote for Harris, vote for Trump. That's what he did. He signaled them. This was a signal. This is who y'all vote for. This is who I support. I support Donald Trump. That's what that meant. Nobody said nothing. I was the only one on this whole internet. I was the only one saying something. On the whole internet, I was the only one saying that. And look how they smiling and clapping. You see how this dude is clapping? He know exactly what that meant. That meant don't vote for the darkie. Don't vote for that woman. Don't vote for that black woman who definitely was black. And any other time she black except when she ran from there. If she would have been out in society, she would have been black. Running for office, she not black. It was amazing how she wasn't black. When she black in the world. Anywhere she go in the world, they're going to treat her black. Anywhere. With that black father, the Indians, people from India are not going to treat her as no Indian. As a matter of fact, in India, the black ones is called untouchables. When you look over here, all you see is the white Indians over here. You don't see a lot of them black Indians over here. Them real dark ones that's darker than me and my shade and darker. They don't let them over here. They don't let them over here. That man put on a Trump hat in front of everybody. Nobody said nothing. Stripped out. I just look at this here. He signaled to Europeans, vote for Trump. Don't vote for her. We don't want that darky in there. Because he was only picked by Obama because they said Obama didn't have enough experience, even though he was a Illinois senator and a U.S. senator. They said Obama didn't have no experience. They said Obama didn't have no experience. He didn't have no political experience. He could be president. And then they voted for him off a TV show. Nobody said nothing about that either. They voted for him off a TV show, but said the guy that was an Illinois senator and a U.S. senator didn't have enough experience. Everybody got a short memory. I just be looking at stuff. That's why I don't get emotional into it, because I know the general public is what it is. You can look at how the general public eat, and then you know what you're dealing with. So I just take it for what it is. The public ain't there. You can run any kind of game on the public. So today they all across the country protesting by the millions. They want him out of there. He done scared people. He done hurt the economy. He done hurt the French. He done hurt the Italians with his tariffs. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and all of them. Some of these fashion designer stores, they just making a little money now, but they ain't made no money in 5 months. They selling a little stuff now. Luckily, their clientele got money, got inheritance money and stuff, and still could buy stuff. But they losing money left and right. Left and right. Because he don't know what he doing. But he definitely filling the pockets of his family, his sons. I mean, he need advice. And he's extremely sick. So he just went the total wrong way. They want him out of there. It's going to be all downhill from here. He ain't seen nothing. The only thing could save him is $5,000 stimulus checks to Americans. 2,000 will postpone it, but 2,000 will make people even madder because people are struggling. And when people are struggling, they're already a little bit in debt. So if you get them $2,000, they're going to be gone because they're already behind in their bills. And it's going to be like you didn't give them nothing. So now they're going through the stress of kind of being broke. You give them some money that gives them the impression to release the stress. A week later, they broke again. So now the stress come back. So that's not healthy because you're going from stress to fake thinking it's all right to stress. And that second stress will be too much. So the worst thing he could do is give them $2,000. He would do better not giving them nothing, psychologically speaking, than to give them $2,000. $2,000, they'll snap. Because now you're making them go through that emotions twice. The emotions they're going through now, then you give them $2,000, then they realize that ain't nothing and it's gone. Some of them is behind on their rent, behind on this, their credit cards is maxed out. What the hell $2,000 gonna do? that's just going to piss them off more. It's not going to buy them no time. If he get them $2,000 in early November, that money will be gone by November 15th. Gone. And they got to go to Christmas with nothing. And they'll be madder than they are now, psychologically speaking. That's why I keep saying America needs a department of psychiatry and psychology. Because if they had people like me there that's got the ability to know about the mind, psychology and psychology, we would be able to tell them, you're looking at a powder keg. Psychologically, they finna go off. If you get them some fake money and it disappear real quick, they gonna go off. Totally. They gonna go off. If you get them $2,000, they gonna go off. There'll probably be riots. Because the stress they on, and then you bring them down here, and then they go back, the stress gonna be even higher. Because 2,000 ain't gonna bring them down here. 2,000 gonna take it from here to there. Then they spin it all. So what's gonna happen? Boom! They're gonna go crazy. How effective I think these protests will be? The protest, I don't think the protest is designed to be effective. The protest is just them blowing out steam and letting the government know how they feel. So I don't think the protests are designed to be effective. I think they just protested because they don't like what he's doing. So they just coming out showing him how many people don't like what he's doing. So I'm not sure if it has a purpose of being effective. But I can tell you this, if he don't get them people $5,000, how many people out there now? Quadruple that. They'll be back out there. But it'll be 10 times 4. It'll be anywhere from 4 to 10 times more people than is out there today. And eventually, it ain't going to be no peaceful crowd. That's what I would tell them. Protest is not necessarily just venting. Protest is making the news and making it be known, a way of announcing this how many of us don't like what you're doing. That's what it's for. It's for to show how many of us don't like what you're doing and to embarrass you globally because other countries look and see all these people don't like you. You understand? So it's a head count, basically. This how many of us don't like you. But his problem, psychologically speaking, his problem is Thanksgiving and Christmas. Thanksgiving and Christmas is a problem. You see, I don't do holidays. I haven't did these Babylon holidays since 1978. So I haven't did holidays in 47, going on 48 years. But not doing holidays, I still know the value of them. That people worship these holidays is everything to them. So for people like me, when I don't do the holidays, they be looking at me crazy. I mean, that's their life. The highlight of the life of a lot of Americans is the holidays. It gives them a sense of worth. It's more bigger than anybody tell. Valentine's Day, 4th of July, New Year's. These days are bigger psychologically than they tell you. But the head of holidays is the combo holiday of Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's really one holiday. It's the Christmas season. So Thanksgiving is connected to Christmas. It's not like two different holidays. It's like a whole winter celebration. They're just a month apart, and they are the biggest two holidays. They're both focused around feast and food. And Thanksgiving is the setup for Christmas. So Thanksgiving is almost like a Christmas Eve the month before. These are the big days to get together with family. There is no bigger days for families to get together. Oktoberfest is nobody care. These are the biggest days. It's Thanksgiving and Christmas. Let me delete stuff that's, we don't do jokes over here. I'm serious. Don't interrupt me with no jokes and smiley faces. This is serious. So these are the biggest days, right? You understand? October is the month of depression. October is not. October is the month of depression. So October is a bad month. That's why they mad, because October represents what? Summer's over. The fun, the sun is over. It's getting ready to get gloomy outside. October represents vampires, dragons, werewolves, and darkness. The sun going down early, gloom and doom. So when they go down after summer's over and they go down, and now it's cold, they use Thanksgiving and Christmas to lift them up. They cap it off with New Year's. And now all they got to do is make it through February, and they can start pushing spring and bring people out of depression. But if they have a bad Thanksgiving and Christmas, it's something that they've never experienced since I've been alive. Since I've been alive, this could easily be the worst Christmas and Thanksgiving in these 67 years I've been on this planet. This could be bad. Especially depending on how many crops get destroyed and are they going to be able to find that food to get on these shelves. How expensive is the food going to be? How high is it going to be to go shopping? People, you can't afford groceries is ridiculous. I only used to stare at the gas pump when I'm pumping gas. This is the first time in my life that I've stared at the cash register when I'm buying food. And it just amazes me how the numbers jump up. And I'm looking at how much stuff I got in the bag. It's just unbelievable. Seriously. And the foods, the stores are empty. Remember I told you that the stores were messed up? Remember I told y'all that? Let me show y'all something. Because I went back and I filmed it for you. Remember I told y'all that when I went to Whole Foods, they have one aisle with freezers. They had a bunch of stuff in this aisle, and they had a bunch of stuff in this aisle. I went about 6 weeks ago, and I look for the stuff I buy in this aisle, and it wasn't there. There was a whole bunch of pizzas there. Not only was there pizzas there was pizza brand I never seen before. And that whole side, let's say you got 10 doors. The pizza was like 7.5 doors with little scraps at the doors on the end. And the food I wanted was all moved to the other side. So now when I go to Whole Foods, everything has been moved. And the reason everything has been moved so you can't recognize shortages. They got shortages. So they bought in these pizzas, right? And they put them on the side where the plant-based stuff and all of the frozen chicken and all that stuff, and they move that stuff to the other side, but by them moving it, you can't tell what's missing and what's not. And then they had all these pizza boxes on the other side. I said, what the hell, right? So then I went back like 2-3 weeks later. And when I went back 2 or 3 weeks later, like a couple of weeks ago when I turned the corner, they had this pizza company boxes in the brown box sitting outside of the freezers where they was finna load them up with more of these pizzas. So the first thing I noticed is I didn't recognize this pizza brand. So I'm like, who the hell is this? I took a video, but my camera didn't record it all. So I went the other day and I took the video again. I'm going to show y'all now. Look. So when I went a few days ago, it hit me. I said, oh, you know why they got all them pizza boxes over there? People don't have no money. So people are buying frozen foods. So they went and got this pizza from these companies. I put 2 and 2 together. Those pizzas are probably what? Cheap. They went to some off-brand company and bought these pizzas, and then these pizzas is selling. Why are these pizzas selling out? Because Americans don't have no money to buy extravagant dinners no more. They buying stuff like frozen pizzas and noodles because they can feed a husband and a wife and 2 children can eat a large pizza. And that's it. And drink some Kool-Aid and that's it. On my soul. And everything is moved. I went to look for the crackers, no crackers. I asked the lady, where the crackers? Took me to a whole nother aisle. I didn't recognize none of them crackers. Where's the crackers y'all usually have? They moved the whole store around because what? There's shortages, and they know if they leave everything where it's at, and you walk up to the freezers and you walk up to the aisles where it's at, you'll notice the shortage. So by moving everything and putting up new products, you won't know what's missing and what's not because nothing is in the place where it used to be. I swear to God, y'all. Y'all, I swear to God, it's a disaster. So this time when I went, I filmed it to show it to y'all. Because I said, they ain't going to believe me unless I show it to them. Look at this and tell me what this looked like. This is the side used to have other stuff, and look what they put over there now. Look, all pizza boxes. You notice how none of it's not full. You see how they got it stacked? But you notice, you see all that empty space? That used to be full of food. Listen, I'm going to show you again. Do you see how it's not full? When have you ever known Whole Foods to have one whole side with just like pizzas? Y'all don't look crazy? That's the side used to have all the plant-based meat, all of the chicken, all the frozen fish, a lot of exotic stuff. Full from one end to another all the way up. If you look now, you're going to see some spots with boxes only this tall. They trying to spread them across, but no space is filled up, and it usually be filled up. Look, tell me I'm lying. Look. You see that? Look. Look, nothing on that shelf right there. Look how they stack them boxes up on your left. And look in the middle. Look at all them empty spaces. And when have you ever known them to sell a whole bunch of pizza boxes? They ain't never had no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They ain't never had no 7 doors of pizza. Listen. Look at these shelves in the middle. You see they empty? Look at the bottom. And look how they put the pizza boxes in there so something would be in there. Man, they do not have pizzas. They don't sell pizzas like that. Whole Foods do not sell pizzas like this. They do not. This was all plant-based meats, frozen chicken, patties, full. They moved that stuff on the other side, stacked it different where you couldn't tell what's missing. And they put all these pizza boxes and unknown pizza boxes. These ain't popular brand. This ain't Red Baron or none of that. This ain't Red Baron or nothing. This is bootleg pizza. Look. Look how they tried to stack it. Look how they tried to stack it. Look. They had to find something to put in there. They ain't got no food, y'all. They do not sell these brands. And then they moved all the other stuff to the other side. So they moved all the stuff from this side with the other stuff. So that both sides was half and half. So they moved the stuff from that side over there to make the side behind me full, and then stacked a bunch of boxes on that side. In other words, if they just had the food they carry, this would only be about 4 doors, and that one would only be about 4 doors. So to make that one full, right, to make the one behind me full, they moved their stuff over there with half of the stuff they had over here. And then they said, well, what we going to put over there? And they stacked it with pizza boxes. And Whole Foods do not sell pizzas. So I kept wondering why they got the pizza boxes, because people can't afford to buy no groceries. And these tariffs and stuff, a lot of food ain't coming. A lot of food ain't coming. And the whole store is rearranged. I had to show y'all. Tell me this don't look right. This Chicago, and this is a Whole Food in a big area. This ain't in no little, this is in a major area. This is a major Whole Food where people got money. And look at it. You can tell they just had to put something over there. Look, if you look all the way down on the end over here, you see a pizza box on the end with the white and yellow? You see at the bottom down there, pizza boxes. Trying to make it look like it's something in there. Why is the pizza boxes way down here too, in the middle and on the other end? Look all the way on your right at the end. Them pizza boxes at the bottom. I ain't never seen this many pizzas in no damn Amazon. I mean in the Whole Foods. I ain't never seen, they don't sell pizza like that. They don't sell pizza like that. It'd be 2 of these doors have pizza. That's it. 2 doors will have pizzas. Pizza's not even their main seller. That might have been my phone or something like that. But yeah, the light is down. They can't, the light is down, but it might be my phone. It might be my phone because of the reflection in the mirrors and all that. Just look at it though. Now, what kind of Thanksgiving you think it's finna be? I'm telling you. And Trump, he trying to do too much. He messing up. He doing too much. He can't do all that. He doing too much. And he don't listen to nobody. He just sent troops to Trinidad to get ready to invade Argentina. So he getting ready to invade Argentina. He got tariffs with China. He tripping with Ukraine. Right? He got the National Guard and ICE all over the U.S. He got tariffs with China. He trying to do 7 things at the same time that don't go together. That's a conflict of interest that ain't gonna work. All over the place. And nobody gonna tell him, Mr. President, you all over the place. You're trying to do too much. You're trying to do too much. So imagine your son go down there to Argentina and get on a live following Trump. It's a disaster. Meanwhile, the military is at the food banks because they ain't got no food. So the soldiers is at the damn food bank. You the president. You done closed down the government and the soldiers can't get paid. But then you want National Guard to come to these cities and fight their own citizens and do something that the police could do. And you got goofies that really believe that the National Guard is going to do something. I had somebody say, they come in Chicago, we doing this. And I said, they ain't doing nothing in Chicago but wasting money. You a fool if you believe he accomplishes something in Chicago. He ain't accomplishing nothing. He ain't doing but wasting money. The amount of money that he paying to ride around and do that, they ain't going to get it back. It's just money down the drain. Down the drain. Meanwhile, the troops is in line at food banks. Can't even get nothing to eat. That's why they wore their uniforms. Military families struggling. Now imagine you in National Guard and you in Chicago, you in California, you in Portland, and your wife at home got to go to the food bank. He gave 20 billion to Argentina. The man is senile and don't know what he's doing, and just wake up and do something different. Exactly, but he's senile. He's crazy, Bonita. There's got to be term limits for politicians. I've been saying that. Mitch McConnell fell down. Fell on the floor. Mitch McConnell was on the floor because he is too old to be in office. Too old. And then fell out on the floor where he's too old to be in office. And got him still in office, taking taxpayers' money, and can't do his job. Because he can't do his job. He can't do his job. Why they got that man in there taking our money and he can't do his job? The man that fell down. And you got him in. They got too many old people in there. They got young people need to rise up against what this government is doing. And y'all need to demand that they get some younger people in there. Y'all can't let them keep putting on 80, 90-year-olds in there and think anything gonna work out for y'all. It's got to be some younger people in there running the country. It can't be a bunch of Trump's too old, Biden was too old, Mitch McConnell too old, and a whole bunch of others. 75, 80 years old in there. Nancy Pelosi, all of them, they too old. They too old. They too old. Them people can't run no government. They can't run no government. They too old. And got them in there just taking up space. And that man that fell down on the floor right in front of the cameras and everything. It was embarrassing. They asking him questions. He trying to run. He trying to get away. He don't even know where he's at. And he fell down. Look how he looking crazy. How he weigh. Look how he look crazy. Don't even know where he don't even know where he at. Don't even know what he doing. Yeah, he's trying to go at Venezuela too. Bernie Sanders, all of them. He's trying to go at Venezuela. But he don't know what he's doing, D-Rec. They don't want to understand. Trump don't know what he's doing. Trump comes off a reality TV show. He's an actor. He's acting like a businessman. He's acting like a politician. He has people that his daddy gave him to run business. His daughter's running business. Trump's not doing anything. He's an actor. He's been practicing to look rich. Once his father gave him the money, he practiced looking rich. Every business he started flopped. The airlines, everything. The college, everything flopped. But he learned how to still look the part. We deal with that in the hood all the time. What we got to do is look like gangsters, look like hustlers, look like players. But they not. They acting, they watch real hustlers, they watch real gangsters, and then they emulate it. They're not that at all. And the actors overact so they look more gangster than the gangsters. The gangsters don't act like gangsters. The actors act like gangsters. You understand? Yeah, Barron doing crypto scamming, the whole thing. And we didn't even talk about Barron's mother, what she is. They're not getting paid because of the shutdown. Yep. Because of the shutdown, they are not getting paid. Their families are starving. And the thing is this. If they're not getting paid and the family's starving, that means they was barely making it. Because they don't got no money put up. Think about that. They don't have no money. They keep them poor. They keep them poor. They keep them poor. They don't have no money. That's why when the police pull you over, they be so mad. They ain't got no money. That's why when you got a nice car, that's why the police pull you over on the confiscate, want to hate on you. Okay? It's all just a big scam. That's all it is. And now y'all finna watch it fall. They trying to come out with digital currency. That ain't gonna save it. That's not gonna. It's too late. The money's messed up. All the governments have ruined their money. They got enough money to try to wiggle through, but because they mismanaged the planet, they got natural disasters. And the natural disasters is wiping out any money they got. They don't have enough money for the amount of natural disasters they have. So they're not environmentally sound. You have natural disasters everywhere, and it's eating up all the money to the point in Florida, people can't afford to pay for home insurance because too many floods, too many hurricanes. So people are choosing to not pay for home insurance and to save their money to try to have enough money to fix whatever happened themselves. And the natural disasters are going to get worse because these people are not just out of tune with people, they're totally out of tune with their environment. And because they're out of tune with the environment, they got the general public out of tune with the environment. Because they don't take care of themselves, the whole public don't take care of themselves. They got you eating trash and making you think it's good. And then everybody's getting sick and they're not reporting it. Because people dropping in their 50s. left and right. D'Angelo ain't the only one. What, he's 51? People dropping. 50 and 60. It's over with. Like flies. They ain't going to tell you. They got you eating stuff. They charge you too much for it. And the stuff is driving up your medical costs. And they won't tell you to stop eating it. That's a fact. And you know where we headed. It's just a matter of time. So Trump, if I could talk to Trump, I knew he won't listen, but he's going the wrong direction. He needs to go the total opposite direction. Okay? Trump and the Democrats got to change what they're doing. Trump is going too far to the right, and the Democrats is going too far to the left. We do not want to deal with LGBTQ issues. That's not important. What they do is their own personal business, and if somebody attack them, that's a job for the police. That's not the job for the government to step in and make all these rules about teaching your children this and all of that. America's spending a lot of money trying to teach children about being LGBTQ. But yet, America's not ranked in the top 10 or the top 15 in math and science around the world. But you're teaching the children how to be LGBTQ, and the children can't even add it up. Tell them, add up, what's 3 LGBTQ plus 9? They don't even know because they don't know how to do no math. At what point you teaching sexual preference over math and reading and science? They can't even read. Because both parties that went to the extreme, you got no moderates. Both parties is lunatics. And they be arguing over which party is a lunatic. But both parties is lunatics. Both parties. This one get in there, get rid of everything this one do, then lose. Then this one get in there, reverse it all and lose. And our money go, whoop, 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 whoop. Cut it, bring it back. Cut it, bring it back. Cut it, bring it back. Just wasting money. All they're going to do is put a bunch of Democrats in there and overturn all that stuff and put the other stuff back. Then later, 3, 4, 6 years later, put a bunch of Republicans in there, overturn, get rid of it again. Back and forth. Meanwhile, you ain't going to have nothing to eat. You ain't going to have no clean water. You ain't going to be able to afford housing. You ain't going to be able to buy a car. And robotics and everything going to have a job, but the cities ain't going to have a dime because the robots ain't going to buy nothing. So you letting total idiots run you because only a fool will replace you with robots and automatic cars, knowing that robots and automatic cars ain't going to buy nothing. So you're going to just tank the economy totally because you got all this computerized stuff working, but that stuff don't buy nothing. So who you going to sell stuff to? So Amazon wants to bring in robots. Fire all the Amazon workers. Many of them shop at Amazon. So you're not going to get none of them can't buy nothing from Amazon because you fire them. You hire robots that can't buy nothing from Amazon, can't buy nothing from the grocery store, can't buy no gas or nothing. So you're going to put all of this electronic stuff in power that you don't pay and that can't buy nothing and tank your own economy because they dumb. Why would you give robots the jobs when the robots came by now. They ain't thought that far. All they think is the robots could do the job. The robots could bring more food in. Right, the robots could produce more. But you ain't got nobody to buy it, fool. So what's the purpose of having robots move more stock at the ship docks when ain't nobody gonna have no money to buy the stuff off the ship because they lost their job to the robots that's unload stuff on the ship? Think about that. They want to have automation unload the stuff off the ship so nobody working. Who gonna buy the stuff off the ships? Universal basic income. They want to give us universal basic income because they dumb. Because it's going to be impossible to give us universal basic income. Because universal basic income is not going to be enough money to buy the shit you got off the ships. So how you going to get the stuff off the ships? So now you're going to have to order less. These is dummies. You ever been around the smartest kids in the school? Like the ones get all A's? You ever been around them in the real world and see how dumb they really be? They get all A's, but they be dumb. They have no common sense. I mean, none. They don't know how to do nothing. Some of the slowest people are the ones getting all A's. They be socially retarded. They don't know how to do nothing. They don't know how to do nothing. They got no common sense. Why would Trump ask Putin about giving Ukraine tomahawk weapons? Because Trump is senile and old. And he might say anything. Throughout the day, you're dealing with 5 or 6 different Trumps. Anybody could see that Trump has got mental issues. He's too old. He gonna say A at 8 in the morning. At 10 in the morning, he gonna say B. At 1 in the evening, he gonna say C. At 5 in the evening, he gonna say D. He envies Putin and he envies the Chinese thing when he think about it. He don't think about it all the time. His mind gone. He don't consistently think about that stuff. Who seen when he was wandering on the White House roof and the man said, Mr. President, what you doing up there? And then they rushed up there with cameras to try to cover it up. Y'all don't remember, was that about 6 weeks ago? He was up there wandering around on the White House roof. They didn't know he was up there. When they found him up there, they ran up there and tried to cover up him up there wandering around. He looked over the side and some regular Americans asked him, Mr. President, what you doing? Y'all didn't see that? Yeah, he ain't posting that stuff. He just lay up at night and talk and they type it for him. He be up all night rambling, posting shit. But like I said, if he don't get these people $5,000 by the first week in November, it's over with. The Republican Party better make sure that these Americans have a good Christmas and Thanksgiving. Because if these Americans do not have a good Christmas or Thanksgiving, all hell's going to break loose. Remember I said it first. He should see it. He should see it by what's going on today. He should see it. If he don't make sure they have a good Christmas, all hell's gonna break loose. Because the people have been brainwashed that those holidays are important, which they're not. But you've already programmed them that. And so if they don't have a good Christmas, if they don't have a good Thanksgiving, they are going to be highly depressed because you've always told them Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And if they don't have a Merry Christmas and they don't have a Happy New Year, that's going to short circuit their programming. And they're going to be extremely mad. And if he gives them $2,500 or $2,000, it's going to be gone in 7 days, and they'll be extremely pissed. Extremely. So my advice to you all is buy some food, save some food. Don't get on social media disrespecting Trump, talk about Trump. That's why you didn't see me disrespect him over here. Don't ask for trouble, and save your money. Save every penny you can save. Make sure you got your Berkey water system. Make sure you got your survival gear. And get ready for the economical collapse. Because the show coming. Victory.